Quite happy, but a little bit puzzled to be the first one to speak in this conference today, because we are used as policy support providers to talk afterwards, and to generally try to respond to challenges. But I think actually it's a honor for us, and also a good thing for us that we can actually provides a research-based or research evidence point of view from the Commission side on what had happened during the last 4 or 5 years, I would say like this, because everything was going towards this circular economy action plan and package, and especially what happened last year that culminated into the appearance of this circular economy communication. Practically, this is only to steer the things. It was a circular economy package in 2014 proposed by the Commission, but it was withdrawn in February 2015. This is why it made a reference to it. Then a very interesting thing happened at the level of European institutions. It was first a push coming from the Parliament. It was then a gathering of forces inside the Commission, chaired by the Secretariat General, and by the end of the year, in 2nd of December, came out the circular economy package. What was the JRC, the Joint Research Center, doing? As I said, we are providing policy support based on science inside the Commission. I have to say I like very much this one. It shows how many things we are supporting on the circular economy field inside the JRC. This is our work program already approved for 2016-17. And the small blue lines that you see under the chapters, the sections of the circular economy package, are actually various deliverables, projects, activities that JRC is doing in 4 of its institutes out of 7, and with many units and many staff participating to this. I don't want to stay longer on this, but I want to see how we see in the JRC, behind the words, behind the section, behind what is already there in the action plan, the annex with the action, with the deadlines and the activities that have to be. What we are seeing is, in one word, more consistency, or striving for more consistency. And I think the discussions today will go also on this direction. One important issue is, although it's not clearly mentioned, the whole package, of course it's about circular economy, but circularity of what? And mainly it's the circularity of raw materials, non-energy, non-food, basically. And this is very important. It's one of the first time when a global, let's say, policy package is attacking bluntly this important input to the European economy. You see, I mean, practically I took it from the text of the Commission, the first thing. It refers also to not only to the environment, not only to waste, not only to reuse of products in various supply chains, in various value chains. It refers also to aspects related to jobs, aspects related to trade of Europe with the outside world, and it refers also to sustainability. Second aspect, one word that will not be found effectively in the package, but is behind, and the central logo there shows it. It's life cycle thinking behind it. So no specific paragraph refers to life cycle analysis or assessment or thinking, but behind the whole structure, even behind the structure of the section, is the life cycle concept. And this is important. This is very important because this is why all this, all the package and all the policy services of the Commission went together in order to construct this thing, and this is why the action plan seems so ambitious, because it's gathering all the stages on the value chain, of the supply chain of all the products that are practically produced, traded, or of interest inside the European economy and society. And the last thing, I was talking about consistency. It's this written, stated need of putting together the legislation on waste, on products, and on chemicals in order to find one solution, one consistent answer of Europe for all these things. Because for too many years, many things were going a little bit in parallel or not exactly linked. So, because I was mentioning an important aspect is the monitoring the circular economy. And here the JRC has an important role. The first one is what is written inside the package, that the Commission will further develop the recently initiated raw material information system and support EU-wide research on raw materials flow, and this is inside the section dedicated to the development of the secondary raw materials market in Europe. What the JRC did was, in the beginning of 2015, to establish the raw material information system as a initiating phase of a EU raw material knowledge base, with the scope, as I said, to look at non-energy, non-food raw materials from primary and secondary sources on their entire value chains. And this was the first edition. The first edition is quite static. It's showing some infos and making links to some already existing work packages. What is important is what we are doing already this year. We are going towards the second version of this raw material information system, which is practically seen as one-stop platform to offer information, knowledge, data on raw materials. Then another important thing that JRC was doing is that together with DG Grow, we are very soon preparing the official launch of the EU raw materials scoreboard, having these 5 thematic clusters on 30 indicators. And we are also very active in the revision of criticality methodology. The next list that is supposed to appear in 2017 will be based on a methodology proposed by the JRC. Another important thing which is related to the circular economy criteria for products, so it's related to the section on production and production design. We developed a methodology that practically includes end-of-life criteria into the assessment of product policies. We are involved in several task force with Senelec. I'm practically finished, yeah. The big challenge for us is to put this end-of-life criteria to finally to go towards making consistent eco-design policies, but also to go on the policies that touch a little bit more on the consumption side, like eco-label, green product procurement, and energy labeling. And with this last slide, I will finish. It's, of course, one of the three main elements of the package was the package dedicated to waste policies. There's a lot of activity also going on in the JRC on this. It is related also to the food waste indicator in the future, but it is very much related now to this bringing together waste policies with the product and chemicals policies, as I already mentioned. So thank you very much. This was only to steer up the discussion, because the real Commission policy messages will follow.